Happy New Year, Cancer! Welcome back to my channel. This is JJ for all my new viewers. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to be giving you this January 2017 tarot reading. So, it's a little bit uncommon that I actually make Cancer one of the first signs to read for, since when I first started this channel less than 2 months ago, Cancer happened to be one of the last signs that I covered, if it wasn't the last sign that I covered. And I've mentioned this before, but I usually like the energies to play out. So at least 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, up to a month needs to go by before you notice a significant change in the cards and what the cards have to say. However, you know, I've received a few comments here and there that it would be nice to see Cancer being done a bit earlier. Same goes for Gemini, of course. But for Cancerians, this seems to be more of a thing. And a lot of people have asked me as well why I don't upload in bulk, or why it takes me certain time, like a longer time period, to get my videos up and running on YouTube. And I can list all the reasons for you guys. There are several, but the fact of the matter is I said this in my very first video when I first started YouTube, and I think I said this in every single video for that month. For those who are watching for the first time though, the way I conduct these readings is I go by feeling. I'm an empath. I'm not an oracle. I don't claim to channel a higher force, although I do feel that spirit, you know, and spirit can be different for many people. It is the energy around, speaks to me. When this happens, I get a particular feeling. I get a particular sign as well. It is different for different people. Some people receive it as clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance. For me, it is mostly claircognizance and clairaudition in a way, where I don't hear noise more, I don't hear words more than I receive a particular signal or frequency, which is quite difficult for me to describe here. I can put myself in this state, and I make it a point to meditate. I always meditate for approximately half an hour before my readings in order to bring it on. If it doesn't feel right though, I'm not going to do this. And I do this, I make it a point to meditate, to get into the zone of the energy, as a way of confirming and affirming to myself that now is the right time to read for a particular sign. Okay, now whether or not some people agree with this method is not really my business. I just feel the need to clarify this because I have been asked, whether it's in private or in public, and it's just better for me to clarify this. So, Cancer, a little treat for you guys. I'm going to light up some sandalwood. This is special sandalwood that I've gotten from a really cute store here. Sandalwood is really good for spiritual work. And I know you guys have been going through a rough time. Like, I really do know this. I have a number of Cancer friends. The holiday period was not the most eventful for them. They made this a choice though. They made it a choice to somehow act out, if I can say. And not because you guys want to act out, but because you've been going through a rough patch and it simply hasn't been fair. Okay, I really hope I don't choke while I'm doing your reading. I love the smell of this sandalwood. It's absolutely beautiful. And while I'm at it, I hope that it ends up smudging my beautiful gemstones here nearby. The cards too, why not? Cleansing my cards is also another reason why it takes me time to get to certain readings, because I only own one deck at the moment, and between general readings and private readings that I do for friends and for clients, it takes me a while to sometimes release the energy that is attached to these cards. They start flying all over the place when I overuse them. And I cleanse them in a number of ways that can last from a few hours to 24 hours sometimes, where I just won't touch my cards. But so yeah, Cancer, you've been feeling like this a lot. We hate this card, the Nine of Swords. However, we bring this to ourselves. The Seven of Swords talks about faulty planning. It talks about acting without thinking. It talks about trying to slight someone, like a boss or an authority figure, trying to do things without a person's knowledge, hoping to get away with it. And because you are a very feeling sign, and emotions is very central to your being, Cancer, if you do this, if you spend time doing this, it's going to affect you. It's going to put you in a state where you are forced to think about things, where you're forced to rest and reflect. Because it's all too much to handle. Now, the Nine of Swords was not the first card that popped up. The Page of Pentacles was, actually. Which suggests to me that you were studying your situation for a while. Studying a situation that tempted you to leave in the end, to walk away in the end. Or someone else walked away from you. And you've had just about enough of people coming into your life, taking advantage of you, and then saying goodbye when they feel like their time, like, you know, you've served your time with them and your time is now up. And so, so the end result is having to leave with this Eight of Cups here. But some of you have done this willingly. Some of you have done this as a statement to these people because you are there for a lot of people. They may not recognize it because you tend to be more private about your feelings as opposed to other water signs. I mean, Scorpio can be quite private as well with their feelings, but Scorpio will show you that they have an issue with you. Flat out. And Pisces will just always try to remedy the situation. But Cancer struggles a little bit, especially around about the full moon, because that's when things get a bit too overwhelming, and sometimes you can act without thinking as a result of this. And people just don't take it the right way. People just won't take it the right way. Although in this case, people who have left, or if you have left, it's good. It's good in the sense because it prompts this new start here with an Ace of Wands. Or this Ace of Wands is the receiving of, you know, you've received a message here and there that has a lot to do with an idea that you were studying. Sorry about that. I'm just going to silence this. You've received a message in the past anyway pertaining to a financial matter, most likely a financial matter, and if it's not a financial matter, it's relevant to your career in the form of this Page of Pentacles here. And more recently, an opportunity to address this issue with the Ace of Wands here. A lot of your anxiety, I wouldn't be surprised, might have something to do with an air sign, a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini here. And you have wanted nothing more than to put an end to this, than to put an end to bureaucracy, which is coming to me for some reason. And I don't know if that will resonate with a couple of people who are watching this. But bureaucracy is coming to mind, especially if you are working with governmental organizations or state officials. Or working with someone. And when I say working with, I also mean involved with. So you can be involved with them in a different manner than on a career front. I'm just going to move this here and lower the screen so you can see, take a look at all the cards that have popped out for you guys. So put a citrine over your cards. This beautiful citrine here to send light your way and good abundance your way. Cancer. So with the hierophant in the middle of the reading suggests to me that there is a need for reform, social reform in your life right now. And you can be attacked in many ways, mostly through some sort of an air sign, I feel, can be attacking you in multiple ways, trying to stop you from achieving a sense of justice that you want in your life. And you are forced to once again assess whether or not the environment that you're living in, including the home, is where you want to be. You can find yourself dreaming of foreign lands at this time, thinking that you might be better off moving somewhere else where the rules that are available in this new place, this new country, this new city will be more flexible for you, or where you won't be put in a situation that you end up feeling controlled by certain family members who are getting in your way, or friends who just keep crossing you and challenging you when it comes to certain ideas that you have. The Three of Wands here is suggesting that action needs to be done pertaining to your situation here, pertaining to moving your faculties, your resources elsewhere. Somewhere where you won't always have to feel like, that you need to be defensive, but somewhere where you can have the upper hand. Like in this Seven of Wands here, where you won't have to resort to this Eight of Cups once again, which has already occurred. And this was a theme over the last couple of months. This card has been popping up every single month, and especially as it pertains to a relationship, actually. Or was that for Pisces? No, I do believe Cancer was also experiencing a lot of walking away. But the point is, you want to get to a point in your life where you can celebrate. Celebrate your successes. But this is not something that I feel can be done immediately. In fact, I feel that this Three of Cups, this celebratory feeling, is actually more in your head than it is actually happening in your environment right now. This is something that you envision could happen as a result of this communication that you may have received. This entire line suggests to me that you will receive, if you haven't already received, a message, that pertains to your financial circumstances, or let's say a business idea that you've had, then you will soon receive this, and you might even receive it in the less, in a form that you least expected, like when you're out grabbing a couple of drinks with friends, when you actually find the energy to leave your house and say that you want to, take things a bit light. That's when you least expect it, is when you might be receiving this information. You become privy to information that may also make you feel like you need to cling on tightly. Cling on really, really, really tightly to a certain person in your life, or your work situation. I can't really say cling on to a person, because the Four of Pentacles talks about clinging on to material resources. However, for the sake of argument, because the Four of Pentacles here, he's also clinging on to a pentacle that is around his chest and his heart chakra, then there I'm going to have to say that you are clinging on to a person, and that is what's coming through to me anyway, more clearly here. But more than anything else, this is a very toxic situation that you've gotten yourself into at a later stage. This is the kind of bond that you don't want to see, being fertilized. I don't know why fertilized is coming to me. Sometimes words come to me like this, and there's no real reason why I say them, other than it's the right time to say such a thing. But with this Devil card, I'd be a little bit cautious that history might be repeating itself. And this bond, whatever it is, this bond, even if it is like a clinging on to your financial resources here, is very karmic in nature. This Six of Cups here is not talking about a soulmate in this case at all. The Six of Cups here is telling me that this situation is karmic. A karmic relationship of sorts. It is an inability to let go of patterns in your life that have shown you time and time again that they get you in trouble. This Queen of Swords, if she is being harsh, if she is being cold, if she is showing a lack of compassion, if she is not being merciful to you, Cancer, it is because she has also had enough. And it doesn't have to be a she, it can be a he as well. They've had enough. They've had enough. They may have, tried to sever something with you in the past, but fruitlessly so, and they did not succeed in doing this. And if this is not a person, then this is you taking this Queen of Swords energy on, because it doesn't have to be an air sign naturally. This can be you having a lot of air in your chart and acting up, which is, again, that's something that came to me earlier on, acting up, very defensively, like saying, no, that's it, enough is enough. Like I have to change something about my life and the people in it, and I'm not so sure how to do this, because a few of you might, you might be going great lengths to thinking about how it is that you can eliminate all this toxicity in your life. But are incapable of doing this because you know that there are laws and rules and procedures that you have to follow. Like, for example, if you are in an unhappy marriage, Cancer. And I bring that up because the hierophant can also talk about marriage. It's not just about social reform, but it can talk about making an alliance, a contractual alliance between you and a person, and marriage, therefore. Then this is something that takes time, and the past has already shown that if you rush and if you decide to go against the natural flow of things, even though the natural flow of things happens to be quite horrible, maybe recently for you, forcing it and not letting it unfold naturally is only going to lead to this devil card here. Do you really want that? Both ways, in the end, a decision will have to be made and taken. With this Two of Pentacles here, a decision and a good balancing out between emotions and action will have to be taken here. That is what's coming through to me. Because this Two of Pentacles happens to be under the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, where you might feel like you are on top of things and headed in the right direction, causing you to feel like you can loosen up a little bit and celebrate. There is a fine line between acting in good judgment and acting out of emotion, Cancer. So it's just a little bit of advice that it's a good idea to look at how often you are making decisions here as a result of a lot of emotion, or if you're making decisions because you're truly convinced that they come from a rational place in your mind. I see a lot of you right now really acting like this hierophant, where you're just like, nope, no, enough is enough, no, I'm going to box myself in. I know how it is that I want my life to go, and none of you are going to influence me anymore. I've been there for you, and you haven't been there for me. You've let me down. I haven't let you down. Have I let you down? Where it's like this overwhelming feeling of like, you want to impose your own law onto people. And in that respect, I don't see you feeling too happy in your environment right now, and see you feeling a bit more comfortable on your own in this reflective state of the Four of Swords, and then later on taking this reflective state and actually wanting to do something with it, like actually saying, I'm going to move again, I'm going to try out a new city, I'm going to try out a new venture, a new circle of friends even, and this time I'm going to make sure that I'm on top of things. But I caution you to pay more attention to clinging on to resentments and vengeance and feeling vindictive. I'm really sorry if I'm using a lot of negative words now. But this is what is coming to me. This is what this Devil card is telling me. So Cancer, what is it that you're going to do? The start of this year, I don't see it being so smooth for a lot of people. I really don't. I mean, some signs might be receiving better readings than other signs, but each sign has a struggle of their own that they need to face in the month of January. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that no one is willing to, make the same mistakes they did in 2016. Because those mistakes caused a lot of heartbreak and devastation for so many people. So many people walked away from their spouses and their loved ones. So many people rushed too quickly into a relationship or into a new business and found themselves struggling midway through to keep up, like with this Seven of Swords here. Others of you spent the majority of the end of the year just in this state of perpetual anxiety, not knowing how to get rid of like all the thoughts that keep creeping up into your head, when all you want to do is just sleep the night away in peace. And I completely understand, how can you do this when you're being faced with your own demons and with other people, refusing to put their swords down, like this Queen of Swords here, who can be both you, if you have a lot of air in your chart, or someone around you. But that's it, Cancer. Enough is enough. Enough, it is what it is, okay? Like, that is coming to me now. It is what it is. With this hierophant that's right down in the center of your reading, it is what it is. There's really no point in you forcing to change the circumstance. We all have to go through lows and highs. To get to the high, you need to first go through the low. You might have to find yourself rock bottom, faced with this goddamn devil here, before you can find yourself victorious again. It is what it is, Cancer. And it's up to you to accept it. And once you surrender to this, once you find yourself accepting the situation and no longer in denial, then the more you will find that you can pick yourself up again and move on. And it is not a weakness to surrender at all. It is not a weakness to want to let go. Not at all. It can actually be seen as a strength in and of itself. Your ability to simply say, that's it. Fine. I give up. I will listen to whatever the universe has orchestrated to me. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. It's been a hard period anyway, Cancer. Like, can it get any worse? I mean, never say never, right? But it is what it is. And that's what I have for you mostly. I do want to take a look, though, at this devil card. And I would like to say something, that you have a beautiful bottom of the deck, which is the Sun card. Like this darkness that is everywhere here, a lot of it, like I said, it has to end. It has to come to an end at some point. This is not something that's going to be playing out for the rest of your life, and it is not a bad omen onto 2017 either at all. At the bottom of the deck, you have to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. As corny as that sounds, it's true. It's true. So I want to take a look at this devil card and see if there are any cards to support what it has to say here. Oh. Jeez. Wow, so many cards flipped. Okay. I'm gonna have to try to make the most sense out of this. So let's zoom in on this devil card here. The devil card, what came out, I was expecting one card to pop out. You got 4 clarifiers, 2 aces, which is actually great. Now we are accompanied with 3 aces, which is even better. It tells me that there's a lot of success that is underway for you. It just depends on how it is that you decide to take this message that's come in the past, how it is that you decide to deal with it. And so far you haven't been dealing with it in the best way. You haven't. It's led to a lot of departation. It's led to a lot of anxiety. It's led to a lot of like unsettling in other departments of your life. And although at some point you may have come to accept this failure and this anxiety, you may have come to accept it and you let go of it, you released it, and you released it in the form of a person or more than one person walking away. You now have to deal with the new beginnings that are on the horizon for you. This Devil card talks a lot about something similar to what I said regarding this final 2 of Pentacles here, and that is that if you have the ability to balance out how much rationality and emotions you use to make a decision, that is what will lead to the best outcome. That is what will lead to the beautiful Sun card that was at the bottom of the deck. If you use the right amount of mental clarity and rationality, and this is also receiving more messages, okay? And you can balance out the amount of emotions that you allow in your decision-making process here with this King of Cups, you will find yourself stronger than ever with this Strength card. I'm sorry if the cards are doubled, by the way. My photo booth is very inconsistent with its auto flip of new items option. But you have to be strong with these things. You have to be strong, and you have to realize that all of this wonderful Ace of Pentacles energy is waiting for you. It is waiting for you. But it's not going to come, unless you realize how to balance out your emotions. Like with this King of Cups here. A lot of strength is on your side. Strength is talking about Leo as well. Strength is talking about Leo as well. So, this toxic bond can be a Leo. It could be with a Leo. However, it does not have to be whatsoever with a Leo. Strength is also strength. Strength is also just saying that you are strong enough to do this. You are strong enough to know what decisions need to be taken and how to balance out your emotions so that you can get to this Ace of Pentacles here. That foretells beautiful, beautiful things. And that way you can put an end to all this karma that's been happening in your life. You can put an end to the toxic karmic relationships that have caused you to become so distraught recently. Has a lot to do with how you're going to balance things out, Cancer. So that's what this Devil card has to say here. And of course, you can come up with your own interpretation. I would like to hear your interpretations, actually. Yes, absolutely. Especially in regards to this Hierophant here, that's right in the center of your reading. For some people, this is really, discussing marriage. This really has a lot to do with marriage. And if it's not about marriage or a partnership, then this is purely and strictly having to reform the social circle that you're in and the way you are approaching life and how you are dealing with other people and how other people are dealing with you, and going against, the natural flow of things. Like it was Christmas earlier on, it was New Year's, and what is it that you guys did on Christmas and New Year's? Did you sit at home and sulk? Or did you go out and actually celebrate? I mean, of course, it's purely your choice if you decide to spend the holiday season in. That's fine. I did so as well at my family's place. But there's a difference between sulking and, like making fun of of everyone getting drunk, and taking on this self-righteous attitude of, well, like, you know what, I'm better than that and I'm just going to stay in, like, having this attitude that doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve anyone around you, and it just makes people feel a little bit, doesn't make people feel so good about themselves, and it doesn't make you feel good about yourself either, Cancer. And I know it's because you've been through a lot already. You have, and you're having a hard time imagining how this is all going to change. But I mean, it has to. You can't simply like live out such a dark period in your life without seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and all these aces to support growth in the future, which is very, very possible for you. So that's what I want to say. That's the news that I have to deliver for you. Let me know if it resonates with you. Give me a thumbs up if it did. Leave a comment or two. Share your thoughts, private message me, contact me, whatever it is that you guys want to do. I'm all for it. And have a great January, and we'll see you soon. Bye.